Welcome to Bad Dog Comedy TV. It's live comedy on YouTube, and today you're watching a special presentation of Shh, I'm Watching a Movie, presented by the Sonar Network. Now, please give it up in the chat for your hosts, Alex Kolanko and Alessandra Vite.
How'd you screw up my name? We're friends in real life.
He wanted to call you Alexander, and then he just got frazzled.
I did the bit where I wrote your full name, and then I also didn't know if I was going to intro Vite or you first, and really just threw myself off there.
I was talking to you like an hour before this, and apparently you don't know who I am at all. That's fine.
Well, I didn't know that your full name was Alexander. We have the same name, Alex.
Yes.
We never talk about this.
We don't talk. We're not real friends.
No. Imagine we just come together for a very casual podcast. For not being friends, we don't put nearly enough work into this endeavor. But anyways, thank you so much, Bad Dog Theater, for letting us talk at you for the next hour. Very exciting.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Connor. I haven't seen Alex in a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a bit. We've been busy.
We've been busy, and it's the second wave, as it is. Second lockdown. Is it the second lockdown? Yeah, right?
I didn't know the first one ended. It's just like
for me, no. I've been locked down. It's very frustrating because I follow a lot of celebrities on Instagram.
You shouldn't do that for a number of reasons.
And they are just living normal lives. Like, nothing's occurring. You know, like Chrissy Teigen went to like a fancy pasta restaurant yesterday. And then the best was, this is my own fault. I follow Kim Kardashian because I don't know why. And she posted this morning saying, does anyone have any travel tips for being vegan? And it's like, but are we supposed, like, I don't know. Does she not know that it goes out to all of her followers and not just like the people in her bubble?
I don't think she cares. Any engagement's good engagement.
You're right. You're right. I wrote to her.
Her entire industry is built on getting engagement and then making money. What are we doing here, Vita? Well, we're talking about
the second wave because we're inside a lot and we're a movie podcast and we're not allowed to watch a movie on this live stream because YouTube forbids it.
Yeah,
they will just shut us down.
They will kick in my front door.
Yeah.
And
so we're not going to watch a movie, but what we are going to do is have a very special guest.
Yes.
So I actually know her from, I wrote on This Hour Has 22 Minutes this year, and Nadine was there when I was there, and I got to write with her, and we wrote a Shakespeare sketch that I left, and I don't know if she ever presented it, so I'm going to bombard her with that question right now. She's also been on Letterkenny, and she's just a lovely human being, and I'm just so happy that she said yes when I asked her to be a part of it. So everyone, please welcome Nadine Bhaba.
Yay!
Hello! Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness,
Thanks
you.
for...
Okay, so first question right out the gate. Did you present that Shakespeare sketch? What happened?
Yeah, we did it at read through.
Sunk without
but I don't think people had the same vigor for it as we did.
We wrote it in like 20 minutes. We were absolutely ecstatic to write this.
Yeah,
I love that you guys are on like a mainstream comedy show and you're like, what gets butts in seats? What gets eyeballs on the screen? Nadine, everyone's favorite. Homework from high school. Put it up, baby.
Nadine had a very slick point of view, I would call it, where it was that give theater actors, like, we got to end this pandemic so that theater actors can get back on stage. Otherwise, they're going to perform Shakespeare in front of you.
Yeah, it's like for the public's own good. It's like it's not for them, it's for you guys.
It's for you, so that, I don't know, I friggin' like that. You know what?
That's funny.
Throw this out the door. We're going to just perform that sketch right now.
Maybe if they're listening right now, we can be like, I'll come back to Halifax.
I'll come, yeah, I'm back in a couple of weeks, so I will, I'll just never stop. I wonder if I could do that. Could I just
pitch it again. Pitch it again. Just pitch it again.
I'll pitch it again. And then I'll make sure they pay you.
I like the idea of that as a theater actor just like alone on the street. It's like, no, you can't leave. It's the like keeps the same conditions of a theater. Like you can't leave. Please don't walk during the performance.
Turn off.
Can you please like unwrap your candies really quick.
Maybe that's what was missing from it, and that's why I didn't. Alex, next time.
They should hire me.
You just need to be punched up. Yeah, that's all I needed.
What,
was a little
that's what
up.
all sketches need is 3 people writing one sketch.
Listen, just tell 22 Minutes to call me up and say that they need one more white guy on the writing staff.
I'll tell them.
Absolutely, will do.
Plenty, believe me. Some would say exclusively. Okay, so Nadine, so
this isn't an edited one. You can't shit talk me. This is going out live, baby. You can't just.
They know. They're aware. We're all aware. Anyways, you know what? But what we're really here to shit talk is the stuff we've been watching recently. So I say, so Alex and I, we'll do special podcasts sometimes where we just really unload on each other all of the media and like content we've been doing. The last time we did it, I just talked at him about The Crown for a very long time.
Nice.
I don't think you noticed, but I cut a little bit of it out because our episode was nearly 2 hours long, and about 45 minutes of it was you unbroken talking about The Crown.
I just feel like it was a show that I didn't give. It's one of the only times where I fully wrote it off as a show.
Yeah.
Right.
I watched the first 2 episodes when it came out 4 years ago and was like, no, thank you. And then I was like, well, let's see this Diana season, and it broke. Like I was like, oh my, and then I went back, and so I guess people can change.
I've never seen it and probably won't start and don't care. Like I don't care about the royal family at all. In fact, I actively don't care about them.
Here's what I'll pitch to you is that I had that same opinion. But then for the podcast, she's like, you got to watch some of The Crown because I'm going to talk about it. And I watched the first 3 episodes of that Princess Diana season, and I'm like, oh, I fucking get it. Like, this show kind of hates the royals, too.
Yes, it's
sure.
It's okay, so, yes. Okay, I can't believe we're talking about The Crown again. No. But it's the person who writes it, Peter Morgan, is very clearly, like, anti-monarchy. But because he's also obsessed with them. Like, the feeling that I get about it is, it's like when I went to Italy with my parents and my dad cried when he saw the Pope. We saw the Pope give Mass out in St. Peter's Square. And it was that thing of, like, my dad's super anti-Catholic and kind of, like, likes all religion, therefore believes in no religion kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it was just funny watching him cry, being like, it's not even the good Pope. Like, it was the Nazi Pope or whatever.
Right.
And I think that's what's going on. Like, as a young Italian boy, the Pope was such a big deal. And I think as, like, a young boy in the UK, the royal family has, like, filtered his life. And he has opinions, but he can't help but show them in, like, a fascinating light. Yeah,
I mean, fair enough. Like, you haven't convinced me, but fair enough.
I know. At the end of the day, like, I always found the royal family extremely boring because they are...
Extremely boring.
It's boring, but what's cool about The Crown is they married it with history. Anyways, let's get to you, Nadine. Nadine, what's a show and or movie that you've recently watched in this second glorious lockdown that we're in?
So I just started The Sopranos.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And bringing the right stuff to the cast.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is that like it's not in a hipstery way. Like I literally could not fathom that everyone was right about The Sopranos being the greatest show ever written.
Fair.
I was just like, there's no way, like, through the framing of straight white men, there's no way that this is as what was told to me.
It just is.
Literally, first, like, 5 minutes, I was like, wait, this whole show's about a guy in therapy?
Yeah. That's it. Because it's not really about, like, the mob even. Like, it kind of is. Like, I don't know how far you are. But it's, to me, like, that show is about a, like, sad dude who cannot be introspective, and then is and realizes what he's doing, and is like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, shouldn't have done that." And that's the whole
know.
show, and I love it. It's so good.
It's
His
so
fucking
good.
ducks. It's great.
I'm almost done season 2. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and like I'm kind of like mind blown about like how like aware it was in the 90s too, like because therapy's come a long way, but there's something about the show being set in the time that it was made in the 90s that like I'm like, whoa, this is way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
So
it's it was the first real use of the term anti-hero, but it really earned that title, because it's like he's an anti-hero because he's in the mob, but he's actually one of the most human characters that has ever existed on television, and is the most like real, and he has all these hideous things due to like his culture and where he comes from, but he's so relatable, and like, don't you love him immediately, right? And immediately. So I think that the skill of that has yet to be. Listen, I didn't watch Breaking Bad, so I can't speak to it, because apparently
Breaking Bad is different. Like Breaking Bad is like extremely pulpy, whereas if they were novels, like The Sopranos is the one that gets the prestige Penguin Books release, and Breaking Bad has like a cover with like dragons on it. Like Breaking Bad is like very pulpy in comparison to like Sopranos.
Because I think that's where and I love Mad Men too, right? So
Mad Men's probably the closest that you said.
I love
Mad Men was so that was a spec script for the guy who created Mad Men wrote on The Sopranos, and his pilot for Mad Men was his audition to get into The Sopranos.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And let me just say that
so much talent in this world.
Mad Men is like satire about like the late 60s, and most people don't fucking understand that. That's what makes it so good.
It is wild.
Satire, but Matt Weiner doesn't help himself when he's
Matt Weiner's an idiot.
Fucking interviews. He says things like, the way I write men. This was the big Vanity Fair interview that was done at the end of the second season, where he was like, I write men the way that they wish that they could talk now. And it's like, do you just fucking hate women? Like, you just don't like women. But back to The Sopranos. You're actually right about to enter my favorite season, because it has Joey Pants in it.
Yeah.
And he's he's maybe one of the true psychopaths of the show, and I'm just so excited for you.
Can't wait. I just every character, like every actor on the show is just like 10 out of 10. It's crazy.
And also, Sopranos is so funny, like a comedy.
Sopranos
it's
Sopranos
so funny.
I talk about it every time we bring up Sopranos. I don't know if you've gotten to it yet, but there's an episode where the gift he gives Camilla Soprano is the Matrix DVD in a grocery bag. Is one of the hardest I've laughed in fucking. Oh my god!
I love it.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, no, say what you love. And then
I was just going to say, I really love like quippy comedy, and like you don't think a show like The Sopranos is going to be quippy, but I just watched an episode where Junior gets his hand stuck in the carburetor, and his niece is like, well, why don't you just call the plumber? He's like, with what, my fucking toes? And then they just like move on, and I was laughing for like 5 minutes, because I'm like, that guy is supposed to be menacing, and then they give him things like that to do and say, and I'm just like, this is so funny.
Yeah, because also the mob, they're fucking buffoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A thing I didn't appreciate till I was older, and I think it's because I was more removed from it, is like it's the only time I've seen on screen the like, not the only time, but like definitely the best version of it, of like shitty suburbia, of like the suburbs are only shown on screen as being like almost like the like, I don't know, the like David Lynch or the like the very
like
clean,
a Norman Rockwell painting.
Like but it's so clean that it's like disturbing. Whereas like my experience of the suburbs is like the dumbest people in the world have massive houses, and like Sopranos is one of the few things that like truly shows like the dumbest people in the world have massive houses. That their fucking son is gonna be a banker one day, but in the meantime he's gonna be the dumbest motherfucker you've ever met.
Also, like Jersey is ugly.
Yeah,
Sorry, no offense, but, like Jersey's ugly, but also like. It's funny because I was watching it and I'm like, this is what you would do with all that money. You'd buy that rug.
Oh, yeah. This is what I think. You just okay. So we're every time I go into the suburbs, it's where my hairdresser. She has a thing when I could go there. She lives deep in Etobicoke, across from like a golf course. And these houses have got to be $7 million. Like we're not talking about 1 or 2 million. Like they have courtyards, and they have like it's like the estate in like Bridesmaids, when she's like driving and I just think this is where you're gonna spend your money in fucking what, Kipling and Eglinton and in Toronto, which is you could have 3 vacation homes.
Okay, here's the thing: is that's around where I grew up, like near where I grew up. Like I know the golf course you're speaking of, and so that's like the richer area. And then if you start heading south, it gets a little poorer and a little poorer. And I grew up in the little poorer. But the thing is that the money kept going, and so they have all these small like houses, and as I was growing up, one day it'd be like sold, and the next day the house would be demolished. And then they'd build these massive houses on these tiny lots, trying to emulate the like gaudy shit. So like it's not only are you like, oh, that's fucking gaudy and disgusting and like this is what you spend your money on. It's that then even the people who are just slightly below that economically are like, well, I can destroy this tiny house and put a carbon copy of a smaller, shittier, gaudy house on it, and that is the opinion of the Sopranos. It's like that is the world.
Wild. It's wild.
And it's this cultural thing. And what's funny, like, you know, my hairdresser's Italian. Like, Sopranos is very Italo-American, I will say. There's not a lot of shared DNA with, like, actual, like, Italian. And have you seen the episode where they go to Italy?
Yeah, that's how the second season starts. Yeah, it's crazy because they don't fit in.
No, they're not Italian. Whatever they are is not. And it's the same thing with the Italo-Canadians as well. Like, whatever. There's, like, I think the most Italian immigrants are in Toronto outside of, like, Italy itself.
But in Woodbridge or whatever.
Yeah, in Vaughan. Yeah, exactly. But it's that thing of, like, whatever we are is this frozen thing of when the 50s and 60s when people immigrated over, the culture froze. And that's the Italy that we know, and it never developed further. And so then to have that frozen culture and then throw organized crime into it, it's very interesting. Like, you could write a million. This is why The Godfather is considered one of the best movies, right? Like it's a very... I imagine that's the same with a lot of other people that immigrated over. It's like when you came, that's kind of the culture that's stuck.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it's like that you weren't there, so you only have memory and your family who's like probably still chilling there in their gaudy ass houses.
Welcome to the hot take zone. The hot take of The Sopranos was very good. Thank you for tuning in and listening.
People never heard this side of things before. It was this thing that when I was a kid, I loved award shows, so I would watch like the Emmys and Golden Globes, but I was too young to watch The Sopranos. And every time I'd be like, oh my God, again, this guy's gonna get an award? And I'd be like, let's get, I don't know, fucking like Chandler from Friends. Hot take zone. But now as an adult, I wish I could have been an adult now watching those award shows. I really think James Gandolfini would be like 2-time Academy Award winner.
Oh my God, he is insanely talented.
He was on like he was like around the time he died, he was in a bunch of movies and was like kind of making a run for movies because he was like, oh, I'm done, because he went back to theater. He's so talented.
Yeah, it's funny because so I'm starting to watch it, obviously, and then one of my friends, she was saying it's her comfort TV show, so I've been talking to her about it, and I was like, I googled like young James Gandolfini because I'm like, this guy was definitely snatched back in the day, and I like
on the show. Sorry.
Sure. And then I like screenshot it and sent it to her. I'm like, you would appreciate this Google search. And she's like, Nadine, he's like 44 when that show starts. Like, he's not even that old. And I was like, no.
And he died very young.
I know, but like, it's because of like I'm sure his lifestyle, like, it was just crazy to me that he was so young and so talented.
Yeah. You know, rest in peace, James Gandolfini. We love that dude.
R.I.P.
He's just one of those people, and I think he's the perfect casting too. Like the casting on that show is incredible because like everybody is just themselves on the show. Like you can't get. And then there's a point where you'll see it's like the wife of someone in the 4th season. She won a contest to be on the show.
Of course,
you'll notice who she is. She looks like a real person.
Okay.
No, she, you know, like Camilla Soprano, you're like, that's a little bit of a caricature of a person. Then this real woman walks in and makes Camilla Soprano look small.
That's
like,
so funny.
This woman's incredible. She's so good. Anyways,
I also can't describe the show to anyone without like I start talking like in a New Jersey accent. Like you can't talk about the show in any other way. Like,
you know what? So that's so funny that you bring up The Sopranos because so it's me and my sister are living together, and then our cousin, we're very Italian. our cousin lives in the apartment above us, so we're all a
Nice.
bubble now. And
Yeah.
so we were trying to decide which show we wanted to like really start. And we almost did The Sopranos, but we took a real sharp left and we all started watching The Bachelor season 23 with Colton. I don't know if you guys have watched this.
I've never seen an episode of The
No, I'm the same.
Bachelor.
Let me tell you something. I was like morally opposed to The Bachelor, and I was like, I don't know, we'll see.
It seems like it's built for you. Like it seems like
Okay, I'll talk about it like in like an intelligent way, and then I'll move away from that and get into my feelings. But really, what it is it takes all the like heteronormative like gender roles, like the competition of like there's not enough men and we have to be a certain way to attract a man, and they just like distill it into this nightmare of a show, and the producers know how to like play with you because you watch the first episode and you're like, yeah, okay, and then by the fourth episode you're like, what the fuck is going on, and you're so invested. But this particular season we just clicked because it was on demand and we kind of chose the wrong one. We didn't do the newest one. This was Colton, who was a virgin, and they were obsessed with talking about the fact that he was a virgin.
That's so
And
weird.
On the season finale, they would say things like, and is Colton still a virgin? Let's find out after the break. And it was now by the end, so I'd say like if you are to ever watch The Bachelor, not like they need more viewers because it's actually terrible for society, but the high point of the show is midway through, and then it just deteriorates into like a ghoulish nightmare. Of
oh, it didn't
like,
start as a ghoulish nightmare?
no, it starts light and then it gets awful, and you can tell that the people on the show are being manipulated and they're not like bright enough to like fight their way out of it. And then like in the Colton season, fuck it, I'm just gonna spoil it because you guys shouldn't watch it. But it
I know
also
I'm
is
not
the-
going
I'm not
to.
going
it's
to.
also the
Yeah.
best thing.
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Colton gets so mad about something that happens that he jumps an 8-foot fence that had nothing to cling on. He does a full like this and hops over, and then it's like half the episode is the producers and the host being like they have to go chase after him. They're in Portugal, and he just goes on a dirt road with 0 street lights, and they have to go like follow him. And because he's like a former football player, he's gone, like he's running. And they're like, we can't find this guy. And the first like 10 minutes of like the third to last episode is them looking for Colton. Anyways,
Oh my god.
That sounds like better TV than what
That's
she
a little
described.
dystopian.
Yeah.
it was pretty good. And then the season finale fucking sucked. It was brutal.
Oh,
But
when did
that's-
this? It wasn't the most recent, so like when was this?
I think it started in December of 2019 and it finished before the pandemic.
Okay.
But it was filmed
Interesting.
like probably in the summer of 2019.
Right.
But in this, you could tell that like reality shows like this is what they do, right? They want to exhaust you. So in this 6-week period, these people went to Spain, Portugal, Thailand, Vietnam, one other place.
Sounds like an Air Canada flight with
Yeah.
stopovers.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get to Calgary and I go the other
Yeah.
way. Like,
Oh, and then they went
Yeah.
to all of their hometowns and Colton's hometown. And so by the
God.
end, they're just destroyed looking. Like they're so tired. But anyways,
It's interesting because it's like I've been reading about like reading. I think I watched 2 videos.
reading not involved at all.
Yeah, like I don't think I read anything, but I've been learning, we'll call it that,
go on.
about like the capitalist view of dating. So like when supply and demand aren't like married properly. So basically if there's like less women in a certain city, then it's easier to find monogamous relationships versus if there's more men. Typically, these are like typically, and I feel like The Bachelor is distilled down version of that.
Oh,
because
I think that's where it comes from though. It's like if Ayn Rand made
There-
a reality show. Because there
what-
is like that is what it is. It is a capitalist like post-apocalyptic reality show.
Yeah.
I was working on a thing and then going insane, and me and some friends got real into reading incel message boards because
Oh,
they're insane. Like they're truly insane. But one of the things that keeps showing up is quote unquote the sexual marketplace. I'm sure it's way less well researched. These people post insane shit. But
Yeah.
At one point on the incel message board, they would post a lot about the sexual proletariat.
Right.
And the idea that there is a capitalist sexual system that by being incel, they're causing a revolution. Fair enough, Connor. Yeah, I know. By being incel, they're causing a revolution.
Nadine, you spoke our language, by the way. Just FYI.
Yeah. You're like capitalist sex. Oh, we're like, we're here. Like, as clarity, I'm not an incel. I abhor those people. I find them misogynistic.
It's not great that you have to even say that, but
it's okay that you are. But then I will be leaving immediately.
Fair enough. Imagine I was like, I am an incel, and then both of you just drop off and just be alone on a live stream.
If that was your goal this whole time, was to come out as an incel. This is what's changed for you in the second wave.
My girlfriend walked through the back of the thing. Like we're good.
I did see a thing though about when the whole GameStop shit was like going down. It was just like if I had to choose between Wall Street and incels, like I'm with the incels.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, like
I don't want to choose.
I would prefer not to choose, but you are right. Like.
Okay. Anyways, The Bachelor's Capitalism and Chris Hardwick. I don't remember. Harrison.
Oh, it was like Chris Hardwick was.
Who's Chris Hardwick?
He was a guy who ran the Nerdist podcast and did what's that show where they
got
did,
in trouble, right?
Oh, he did awful things to women.
Yeah. Not Chris Hardwick. Chris Harrison. And we were talking about like he's the host of the show and like I'm sure he's like that man sold his soul to the devil many, many times to be on that show for the last 17 years.
Oh my! He's got a boathouse. Yeah. That's boathouse money.
He's got himself the biggest Etobicoke mansion.
Just so gaudy.
With a full fountain. But I made a joke saying that like he's the hyena to like the Bachelor's Scar, and he just picks off the girls that he wants at the end. Because there's something about him that is so menacing. Because at the beginning of the show, you're like, you know what? I always respect someone who does a job properly. Like I don't like Ryan Seacrest. But I respect that he's like a very good host and that he's like extremely good at whatever it is that he does. And that was the feelings that I was developing for Chris Harrison. And then by like the 5th episode, I was like, I take it all back. I fucking hate that guy. Anyways, I don't know. I've been talking shit about it, but like we're dying to watch The Bachelorette because now we need to know like if this is how the women react, like how do men react in this scenario and like what's the deal with that? It seems also counterproductive to like very okay, so like the women on the show are like ultra feminine, like the most like stereotypical thing. So I'm assuming that the men on the show are going to be like ultra masculine, like whatever that nonsense is. And therefore them choosing one woman seems counterproductive to like the natural order of like what is expected of those roles.
Well, man, that makes good TV. That's gets people to tune in, baby.
Also, you know what? I call bullshit on men not wanting relationships, and maybe not all the time, but like I feel like that's fucking dumb. And I call bullshit on all of this, but yes, continue. Yeah, it's just like
I'm not an incel, just so you know.
It's okay if you are for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's how it started. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to go back to incel chat. Incel.
Thank you.
Go. You do.
I was gonna say, like, I think one of the things that the pandemic has exposed to me, anyway, is that, like, and not in every case, you know, but I do think that most heterosexual men perpetuate this idea that they don't want a relationship, but then most of them frickin' do.
Yeah, not the ones that I know. Start to cry.
I mean, not with me. That would be crazy.
No, all the men that I've encountered in this second wave have just really needed to show me their penis. They just gotta tell me.
Well,
so now I've gotten to a point on Tinder. Well, I stopped for a while because I was getting bitter, but then I started up like a couple weeks ago, and I get to the point in the conversation where it's like, this guy is struggling to turn this into like a sext, and I just won't let it happen. So every time they say something, I'll like change the subject, and then almost every time they always like, listen, I'm just gonna be blunt, you're really sexy, and then I just stop the conversation because I just don't feel. I'm sorry, if you guys want to jerk off, like please, like no one, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, just pay for it. Like I'm tired of doing these guys want pictures, they want sex work.
Just start an OnlyFans, and when they have when Tinder gets horny, just send them your OnlyFans.
I honestly fucking like, this is like, I'm sorry dudes, you guys want an OnlyFans account right now, you are not interested in engaging with another human being, and that is fine. I'm not saying pay me, but pay for it.
Every single woman has considered it if they don't already have one.
every day. I go like, I really need like new furniture in my place. Like, should I?
I thought about it
open
3 times
it?
today. I was like, I need to do this.
And that's how we take it back.
Speaking as a guy who seems to be frequently in relationships for long periods of time, I think relationships are fun. I'm very lonely all the time. It's nice to have someone around who loves me.
Right?
I don't know why that's a thing.
Humans want connection, and I'm not saying marriage and all that bullshit. I'm talking about like literally companionship.
I'm also just a sad dude, so it's also like the women who didn't end up in relationships dodged some form of bullet. Like this whole pandemic for poor Mollison is just every 20 minutes of me being like, "Are you mad at me?" and her being like, "Why? Why?"
Alex,
I'm like,
no.
I'm exhausting. Like
I mean, I will say this, like me saying like, "Oh, not the ones that I meet," and I think the people that I meet, it's funny, and I think that it's my own psychology because I've literally dated before the pandemic started, and actually during the pandemic one time. But people that haven't been in a relationship in a long time, they very clearly were not. They're trying to get into a relationship and they can't physically do it. And it's not that they came into it telling me like, I don't want anything serious. Almost all of them were interested in like dating. They just realized that they didn't have the emotional capacity to do it.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's my journey that I have to figure out as to why that occurs.
Just a magnet for dudes who are closed.
That's literally that's my damn luck because they are closed, and it also could just be the particular community that I thrive in while dating.
I feel like you not met me, but like we hung out, and then it's like what. I'm a fairly open dude, and then I was like, and what we started a podcast. I was dating people when we met, but I was like, you met an open dude, and we started a podcast. Was my joke?
Oh, you're talking about me? But we were both in relationships when we met.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not gonna.
No, I don't want to hook up with you. It'd be weird.
Anyway, sorry, Nadine.
It's like I can go.
It'd be
no, it's fine. It's fine. That's true. Actually, I guess you are saying that. Like, but I considered you a friend. You know, I don't.
Yeah, we jumped in as friends. I don't know where my joke was going.
I don't know. It's a joke. But what is true is, Alex, what have you been watching?
Connor plugs in to laugh at me.
My mic's been on. I've just been trying so hard not to laugh, and I just couldn't.
We need some encouragement. God.
Yeah, it's so much better now. There's the loose cackle in the distance.
I like it. I wish you could just pop up in like a little circle on the screen,
like a Japanese game show where they have like just little circles of audience members laughing. But I've been watching pretentious crap. I've just been watching the most pretentious movies, and that's what's been filling my time. Recently I watched Nomadland, which I really liked. It was really good. It's Frances McDormand.
Love her.
You watch her for 2 hours.
Yeah, she's a special person.
You watch her for 2 hours. The setup of the movie is it's 2011. A gypsum mine has closed in North Dakota, and her husband dies, and she just hops in a van and goes and works at an Amazon warehouse and is basically homeless for 2 hours.
Can you go back?
I'm obsessed.
What's a gypsum mine?
A gypsum is a type of stone.
Oh,
and
like a
mine
mining.
is what they do to pull it out.
And then
of the
she
ground.
works for Amazon.
She works for Amazon at the beginning, and then kind of goes like, and it's like, lives in a van, and then like meets people who are like, it's van life, baby, and then it becomes this like thing about like her working like weird odd jobs, trying to afford to live in a van, and like meets people and like finds joy, but has huge sadness. It's a really tough movie to explain, but it is amazing and a massive bummer. I also got rip roaring drunk through it, and by the end, I'm just like crying and like, this is beautiful.
Did you drink every time you felt an emotion?
A little.
That's just Alex's MO.
Yeah. That's like that. It described 30 years of my life. Like, way to go.
Like, the thing is that drinking amplifies all emotions. I don't know why anyone drinks to quell them.
Yeah, I don't. It's a terrible solution.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that's yeah. I stopped drinking because I was getting panic attacks, and Alex would be like, "But can't you? Drinking helps." Like as a kind of like,
no.
And I was like, no.
It depends on your panic attack. Sorry, keep going.
That's true.
It's true. Like an acting teacher once said to me, "I never drink when I'm sad. I take my grief straight up," which is a very pretentious way of putting it.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
that's
like
so theater school.
yeah, it wasn't even theater school. It was like a film and TV like that.
Just like yeah.
It was David Rotenberg. Anyways, continue.
But it gave me pause because like every time I am sad and I drink, I end up crying for 3 days. So I'm like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Well, you know what I like about the metaphor behind the pretentiousness is what he's saying, or she. Sorry.
It was a man. It was obviously
I knew it was a man.
Yeah. Acting teacher. What?
Yeah.
It was you have to feel your feelings, and if you drink, you focus on the wrong situation. And
Totally.
Yeah, but sometimes I remember like oh boy, right before the pandemic, I had like a sad altercation with someone I had dated, and I got real drunk immediately, and then just like walked home blasting like the new Taylor Swift. This was before she did Folklore. And I was like, you know what? This is all I needed to feel better. And I feel great right now. And then I never thought about it again. So sometimes it helps.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
But yeah, check out Nomadland.
This is not the show that Alex.
Yeah, if I had
No,
a
it's fine.
career
No.
at all close to Frances McDormand, like I would be so happy.
She's obviously fantastic through it, and it's like a role built for her. She's like
I was going to say it sounds like Frances McDormand.
she's like EP on it. Like it's also like one of those movies that like looks like it's made by like 5 people and is 100% made by like is like written, directed, edited by one person. Frances McDormand's
Right.
EP, and then like like the other actors in the movie that like also probably threw money in, and it's fantastic. Highly recommend.
I
Did it
love
come
that.
out this year?
Yes, it's got like, or it might have been end of 2019, but it's got like Oscar buzz. It was like trying to be an Oscar contender, and I think it could.
Last season. Or
No,
this
of this season. I mean, like the
I mean, I
Oscars would be
don't
right
see-
now in a normal.
Well, the Oscars are coming in April.
Is what they said. Yeah.
So I mean, I assume she'll get nominated. Like what? Oh yeah, this is another thing that I saw, but it's a little bit of a heady topic, and I also don't want to give any spoilers if you want to watch it. But I watched Promising Young Woman.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
gonna watch
Haven't
that
seen it
tonight.
I shall not say
Don't say
anything about
anything
it,
yet.
except that I found it pretty disappointing. So I was expecting
I've heard
that.
only good things.
We'll talk about it after. But
Okay.
I was expecting that to be like, well, when I like settled in for the night, I was like, can't wait to see the movie that's going to win all the awards. And then I was like, oh.
Have you guys seen Sound of Metal?
No?
Okay, I have an actual. So I have. Yeah, Connor knows. 'Cause I told him I have bad hearing, and I was born with pretty bad hearing, and healed it, and now have like my left ear's all right, my right ear's solid, good enough for most people. I also have played in a series of metal bands, and there was a period of time in my life where it was like, this kid's going deaf. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when, and it's like teaching me sign language.
It's a literal line from the movie.
Yeah. So I put on Sound of Metal because I heard it's really good, and a couple of people were like, you should watch it, you'd really like it. Of like, it's sad, you like sad things. It's very close to your life in a lot of ways. Like for example, the last time I had really bad hearing problems, I blew my eardrum playing music, and I just started bleeding while playing music. And blowing eardrums, fine. Like don't suggest it, but it's like permanent damage is minimal for blowing your eardrum. And I put on Sound of Metal to watch with Mollison. We were excited to watch it. We made it to the scene in the diner where the other musician and partner is writing on a napkin to talk to him. And I started crying. I was like, we got to do something. Like, I can't do this movie. This is no.
It's too much.
And it seems fantastic. Like, I think I'd really like the movie.
Is it a movie?
But I was
It's
like,
not a documentary?
it's a movie.
It's a movie. Yeah, it's Riz Ahmed. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's great.
okay, now where
It's-
do we watch these things?
I think that one was on Crave, I want to say.
Oh,
or I
it is?
might have
What-
rented it on Apple TV or something.
Connor, what were you going to say?
It's wild because I know both Alex and I know that guy of
Riz
just
Ahmed?
like the like character he plays. Like it's such a
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
Very
like an
specific.
identifiable metal guy.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
this is what's so frustrating with this year, because usually when it's non-pandemic, I know what movies are released and I know where to get them. And this year, I am so confused.
That one came out. I wanted to watch it in person at TIFF 2 TIFFs ago, like not
Yeah.
this pandemic-y TIFF, the TIFF before.
Oh, okay.
And it was sold out because it was like a smaller theater, I think, and like So you would have missed it because it was like a year and a half ago.
Oh,
but
so
now I don't know.
But it's been re-released because I know Rhythm has been
on
doing
streaming.
like,
it's streaming now. Like now it's like wide release or whatever. But like it went to TIFF and then it went nowhere for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's been doing press for it. But there's so many. The only movie that I actually really saw was fucking what's that stupid Glenn Close one? Oh, Eulogy for a Hillbilly or Elegy for a Hillbilly.
Oh my god, that movie sucks.
Yeah, so it's like that one was so in my face I could easily watch it, and all these amazing movies. There's literally like a list. You know what? I just have to be one of those people that like writes a list now because like it's not accessible at the time.
I just want to say I'm so happy because I also wanted to see Sound of Metal in that TIFF and it was sold out. I am so happy I was not trapped in a TIFF theater, seeing like a like that, like the writing on the diner after seeing The Doctor is a literal conversation I had with my mom when I was like 12 and being like, oh, this is gone forever. Like I had a thing and it's gone forever.
It scared me and I don't even have that problem.
And then also to tie it also into like a thing I love, which is playing and listening to very extreme music and then him losing that and losing, oh boy. I'm going to weep here.
It's upswing though. It has a good ending.
I'm sure it does. I'm not making it to it like that. It was a thing where I'm just like,
you don't need.
I'm good. Like I don't. This is just torture. This is undoing therapy. This movie's actively costing me money.
Sure.
I was gonna say, Nadine. Once I watched Alex in a concert. What do you call your specific genre of metal?
That would be a screamo band. Just straight up like DIY screamo.
But I had to I had to shove like toilet paper into my ear. There's no way that I can make it.
Yeah.
A second. But I was like, yeah, not of the
I appreciate the artistry. I just can't.
That's
not
fair.
for me. Yeah.
No, you
know what I do
love?
everybody.
No, and I know this comes across condescending, and I don't mean for it because it's a genre of music and Alex loves it. But it's like I really enjoyed the melody of it, and I was not expecting. It was emotional music that had melody, which I truly didn't think I was going to hear. And I was like, I think I understand. It doesn't speak to me, but I really understood it. That makes sense.
I used to watch like all those VH1 specials about like the history of metal and like I love the metal movie, like Sam Dunn's The Metal Movie, and I really do love metal as a genre in theory, but then if I sit down to listen to it, I'm just like, ow.
Yeah,
but
I mean it's a cool, anything that's like an extreme version of something has like a really cool reason for existing.
Yeah, I think I'm like obsessed with counterculture is what it is. Yeah, like that is what it is.
Yeah, that reason is aggressively sad teens.
Aggressively sad white teens, I believe. No. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean,
not as much anymore.
Yeah, definitely not as much anymore. And you could argue at the very beginning, not a lot. I think a lot of the early big bands were definitely not all white.
Is metal have anything to do with punk? Are those two scenes related?
It's a huge question.
For some reason, they're connected in my brain, and I don't know why.
So
you need to watch the metal movie.
Okay.
They started separate and then kind of merged, and so like they have. It's kind of like think of two trees growing apart from each other, and then one kind of mixes another, like two trees twisted together.
Right. So like that band Swans.
Yes.
They're like a perfect mixture of like metal with
Swans.
punk.
You picked the one band that is so hard to pin down.
Okay.
Of like,
it's just because I saw them in concert accidentally, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. Swans is like. Swans is also like hard to pin down because they don't really come from any scene. They come from like the New York no wave scene, which cool. Is the like the like late 70s, early 80s like anti-art scene where like the point is to create music that is purposely as unenjoyable as possible, or art that is as unenjoyable as possible.
Let me tell you something. They did that. They were playing at Dundas Square. We were waiting for St. Vincent.
Oh, so good. I was also at that show.
We were waiting for St. Vincent, and I was like, I gotta go inside. I'll die if I stay here any longer.
Well, because they started like that, and then Swans continued, and it was like Michael Gira's project, and he mixed all these other things that he liked into it. So it's been going. The project's been going for like 40 years now, 50 years now, on and off in different ways.
Oh no.
He went through a folk phase. He went through a am I still here?
I still see
Yeah,
it.
you're here.
Okay.
You were gone for like a second.
Okay, well, he went through like a folk phase. He went through like a long drone one note phase. He went through like all these things that have kind of like picked up and added to the sound. So to see Swans now is such a hard thing to pin down, because it's like, yeah, it's like loud and metally, but also like there's a song or a part that's going to be like 5 minutes of acoustic guitar, because that's what he's into.
But like,
that, like,
also,
ties in. Yeah.
it was literally metal that they were banging on a metal drum for so
Yeah,
long.
because he's
that
also
I
like into like
felt it
noise and
in
art
my
rock and
teeth.
like yeah.
Yeah.
And like part of Swans is also, it's like they want to be played so loud so you feel it. So like if you go see Swans live, and like, so it's like a callback to how they started. Like the beginning purpose of the band, of the no art scene, was like we're gonna play so loud you can't physically be in this building.
Yeah,
And,
that
like,
I couldn't physically be on. Okay, you know what? I want to be cool. I swear to God, I want to be chill and I want to be cool. But that becomes my like inner like principal of the school, being like, well, this is ridiculous. Like I can't. I can't. So
No,
had to
I
go-
feel that too. But what's magical about it, and I'm gonna spoil this a little, in Sound of Metal, he like starts helping all these like little deaf kids, and they like the percussion of it like makes it so that they can hear the music or feel the music. And I think the louder they play, the more they know what to play.
Yeah.
And it's kind of magical in that way. Like metal is like magical in that way, because it's like the only thing loud enough to like do that.
I know some people
Beethoven.
in the scene who are like definitely very hearing impaired, but
Yeah.
not because of it. They came to it because of hearing impaired. Also, speaking of when I was like, we were like, this kid's going to be deaf, and like they're trying all this shit to try and help me. Is like they're like, I started going to like after school deaf classes, which is like to like be like, they don't want, because they don't want you, like you go deaf and then you can't learn and you have like a big gap in your education.
Oh, okay.
So
Sure,
like
yeah.
so trying to like culture you with other kids and like whatever. And they had music, and I was so confused by that. It's like we had like a music thing planned in there. I was so confused. I'm like, no one can hear anything. Like, wait, what are you talking about?
Right.
And they give you big balloons, like just big like balloons or balls or whatever, and they play this like huge bass music, like almost like UK garage.
Shit. Yeah.
And blasting like so loud,
So
and so you can
touching.
feel it, and all these like kids like just like yeah feeling like just like UK like huge bass music. And my mom came to pick me up and was like, that's the loud, like they're blasting it, they're playing it so loud, because like
But
to
doesn't
most of them
that-
it's like
Did that fuck with your remaining hearing that you had? Or?
no, everyone has their stuff out. It's like like most of these people like are like I had the most hearing in that room, and I was like down to like 20% or something.
Okay.
And
Crazy.
like yeah, it was so like I put like protection in to be there, but like the big thing, because the point is to feel it. You need it so loud that it moves the air so that you feel it.
Wow.
And it truly like I can't speak because I've had the most hearing, but like yeah, you can hear it. You hear it like music. Like you feel it in your body and you hear it like music.
It's Beethoven, right? That's what he wrote
Well,
music
those-
off of.
Yeah, or just like going to, at the most base, or like going to a club and like you're in the bathroom, but you feel the bass
Yeah.
still in your chest, and you know what
Yeah.
song's playing because of that.
Because of that, yeah. That's when, like, because, like, I was never a club person at all, but, like, whenever I would go to a club, and if I would be just the right amount of drunk, and the music would be, the bass would be just at, like, 2 tones hit at the same time, and then you'd just be on the floor being like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't go to a club. Like, I'm talking, like, the Ossington. Like, in the back room at the Ossington.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Big
Yeah.
rip.
I mean, yeah, the Ossington, actually, all of those Ossington strip, like, where you could dance
yeah.
and stuff, all of the music was like that. It was very, like, felt very, like, loft space dancing.
Especially at that place that kept changing its name. It's, like, just south of Dundas. It was, like,
Yeah.
Our House, and then it was...
Baby
Some
Huey.
numbers.
Baby Huey's now, I think it is.
No, not Baby Huey's.
Not
It was
Baby-
just south of Dundas on the west side. It was
that
literally called
Gluck?
Our House at one point, and then it was called like something with numbers. Anyway,
I know. I don't know what it's called or was called, but I know the door.
it's
I know
like
what
by
the door
Painted
looks like.
Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Oh, Red Light. It was for a while. That was a.
yeah.
I'm gonna admit this on the stream. That was a heavy coke bar. If you wanted cocaine, that was the bar to
But
go
I feel
to.
like that's what the Ossington Strip was,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
just was like a little baby being like, I like to dance in the back. Like,
And that
I
was the
don't know.
clubbiest place, I think, in all of Ossington.
Yeah, we have to go dancing as soon as this is done. I'll
yes.
kill a man if I can't.
Yes.
Because I went in the summer, you know, my friend had a backyard birthday, and it was one of those things that, like, by the end of the night, I was like, are we going to get written up by Blog TO? Because it started with 10 people, and then by the end, there was about 30 people. And I was like, this seems, but it's a huge, like, the backyard's the size of, like, a schoolyard. And he had a DJ, like, because he's a music guy, and he had a DJ come, and it was just the three of us dancing in the corner being like, I needed this to survive. Like, it literally, like, made the rest of the, like, I lived off that feeling. Like, it brought me to now. And now I don't know what to do.
I know. I just wanna be around people.
Yeah, it's not good. The winter, and I know that the government prepared us by telling us it was going to be a tough time, but it's been a tough time. It's been pretty tough.
They could not have prepared us enough.
No, it's impossible. It also sucks that, like, I'm watching things like The Bachelor, and I'm hating it at the same time I'm watching it. Like, I'm grateful that it's, like, capturing my interest, but, like, all the, like, juice that I had. I think The Crown was the last moment of me, like, taking in new media and being like, yeah, I feel inspired by what I'm watching. And now it's just like, I don't know, I'm trying to get into Superstore on Netflix, and I fucking hate it. I don't know.
What season are you on?
I'm in the beginning of the second season. I don't hate it.
It gets the first season's a little rough, and then the second, third, and fourth get better. And I can say this with confidence of that I've met a writer on the first season and asked him about it, is that the later seasons become about, like, unions and healthcare plans and like strikes and that stuff. And I was talking to him, was the plan to be like, this show's going to slowly become about this, and whether or not you said it to NBC or not. And he's like, no, it was pitched as like, baby, it's the fucking office in Walmart, like let's fucking do this. And then he's like, and then they did all this research for it and realized how sad it is to work at Walmart. And like, it is unethical and impossible to do The Office in Walmart. And that's how it became the show that it is. The later seasons, I think, are better. It's never like hilarious. It's not my favorite show, but I think it does get better as it goes.
I mean, like, I'm getting into it. My major, like, the flaw of the show for me is I don't think the guy, Jonah, who's in Mad Men.
Yeah.
Listen, that guy, the way he looks, the way he talks, he's being pitched directly at me. Like, I am his demographic for finding him attractive. And I think there's something about him that is so greatly unlikable. He seems so mean.
I would say,
like,
as it goes on, the show is kind of aware that he's unlikable. And also because he's like the lead, he's like a co-producer on it too, is like the show doesn't quite know what to do with him, of what it becomes. And so he's kind of this weird, like, C-plot dude through, even though he's like the main character. And like they're writing in like love plots, or just like his story as the show goes on. It really feels like a hanger on to what the show actually wants to be.
The minute, because NBC's been trying to make that man work for years, right? They gave him another sitcom that died. And the minute that the show started, and I was like, oh, is he supposed to be having chemistry with America Ferrera? Because throw it out the window. Get rid of it. Get rid of that immediately. Because also, I like America Ferrera a lot. I think she's really lovely and likable. She's not funny. And I'm just so tired of that. But anyway.
If you guys want to watch a show with a really kind of unlikable main character, is Rami.
I love Rami.
Oh, but it's actually funny, though, I think, yeah.
Rami. I wouldn't say Rami's goals are always funny.
Yeah. Season 1 is a comedy, and then season 2 is not.
No, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Season 2 is not funny at all. Because they know what they're good at, and they're like, no, we were never really making it a lot of people laugh. But then what does mean is, like, a lot of really good comedians that are carried through. Like a person I know. I started watching Rami because Dave Merhesh was a guy.
Mirage in it?
Dave Merhesh is like one of the reoccurring characters. Is a guy who, when I started comedy, he moved to the city, and I met him, and I love Dave Merhesh. And I was like, and he's like, oh, check out this show. I was like, I'll watch anything Dave Merhesh is in, and I'm assuming they got him yelling and ranting. I'm like, oh, this is a very very interesting show about being a Muslim American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made by A24.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll get on this because I remember he won the
Yeah.
Golden Globe, and everybody's like, "What?"
Oh my god, the show is incredible. It's
really
incredible. Yeah.
Okay, I'm about. Well, I was gonna say because like maybe on that show he's meant to be unlikable, or like it's about him and he's just like kind of an unlikable dude. Whereas on Superstore, this guy, I don't know, Ben Feldman is his name. I think he looks likable, but everything in his being.
So it's an Orange is the New Black syndrome, where they realized that the main character was terrible and everybody hated Piper.
Yeah.
And then they stopped. Yeah, they were just like, okay, fuck Piper. And then they were like, oh, let's explore all these other people and all these other characters. And Piper sort of like went away.
Yeah, well, you can't have all of the other characters be that interesting and then have Piper as your lead.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah,
want,
it's the same thing as Superstore.
If you want a funny show, like a show for funny funnies, a show I watched, it's a British show. There's 12 episodes total. Is called Stath Lets Flats, and it's just like hard comedy, but very funny.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, British.
down.
Like, wait, I can't believe I didn't talk about British TV's saving my life. Also, guys, there's a show on Amazon Prime called Miranda. That's about a 39-year-old woman who opens a cat cafe, and she falls in love with like a handsome bartender. But it's like really like classic BBC sitcom. She talks to the camera. You hear the audience. You see bloopers within the actual show.
Oh, weird.
Oh, it's very special, but it's also like very like that kind of comedy. Like it's not like it's not subtle or like British. Like
Stath Lets Flats is just this like it feels like Marshall Lorenzo wrote it, which is just a pitch to Vite. No one else knows who he is, but it's just like a massive character who carries the show, like just huge character comedy of this like Greek immigrant. Son, like his father's Greek immigrant and he's like the son, and he doesn't quite understand how the world works and thinks he's cool, and like is trying to rent these shitty apartments to people. It's so good. It made me laugh real hard.
Okay,
I'm into it.
We should write this all down. Anyways, guys, I think this is it, right? Connor, are we done?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. we can wrap up, but we'll start wrapping up.
Connor, what have you been watching?
Yeah, we've been watching. Connor, you got a minute.
Liz has finally convinced me to watch the MCU movies.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Cut him off. We're done. We're good.
Anyways, well, I hope you enjoyed The Winter Soldier. Which is the best one that you've seen so far,
I hope you enjoyed Thor: Dark World.
I've only watched Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, and Iron
never
Man 2.
Any of them.
I saw Iron Man
honestly,
for
the
sure.
first Thor movie is good, and I'm a huge X-Men girl, so like all the X-Men are good. And, okay, I don't know why I just said that.
All the X-Men are not good. All the X-Men are 100% not good. They are famously not.
Hold on, wait.
Like career-ruiningly bad.
X-Men and X2 are incredible, and Days of Futures Past is also very good.
What about First Class? First Class is the good one.
And First Class.
First Class
I'll watch that one. I'll watch a movie
X3?
with no. Which one has James McAvoy and Fassbender?
Those are First Class and
Days of
Futures Past. And also Logan. That one was good.
I like Logan.
Is that what it's called? Logan or Wolverine?
I'm the only one who loves Origins, Wolverine Origins, or whatever it's called. It's so bad, but
it's
Wolverine Origins.
Japan?
No, that's the Wolverine. Wolverine Origins was before that, where it's like they were like
Liev Schreiber is like in the Yukon with him. Oh, it's great. In like 1840 or whatever.
It has one of the funniest uses of CGI. Like when his like claws first come out and he looks at them, it looks like an SNES game. Like it looks so bad. It's amazing. Oh, Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool, but he gets his mouth sewn shut and has swords for arms. It's insane. Doesn't make any
is why
sense.
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are friends on the internet because they were in that movie together?
Yeah.
But they were they were in a couple MCU movies together. I want to say 3 of them.
I enjoy all the actors that get sucked into these movies, and I go and I'll sit down and I'll be so bored and so disappointed. But
I don't know. I don't like them all, but I definitely like them.
Okay. All right. I can see First Class. I want to see Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender, can you make a movie that I want to watch? So annoying.
He has so many good movies. What are you
Yeah,
talking
but I've
about?
seen those. But he's done Shame. He's done
Love
Hunger.
Shame. Love Hunger.
What else has he done that I really want to watch? Don't say MCU.
I mean, he's good in these. He's a good
Magneto.
Magneto.
He's a good Magneto. He was in something I liked recently.
What, Snowman? The Snowman?
No, but I'm thinking, what's the fucking? Was he in? He's in one of the aliens that I used. No, but,
Prometheus?
no, but he was in
That
something.
movie sucked.
That movie
though.
does suck. No, but fuck, that's gone. There was a movie I saw that was good,
What,
and Fassbender was
Assassin's
in.
Creed?
No, it was like a arty thing. It was sad and slow. You know.
Oh wait, is it that beach one with Alicia Vikander? Like the light on the beach.
I can't tell you.
See, that's another movie that would suck me in, and then 20 minutes in, I'd be like, oh my god. Anyways, long story short is, I like Michael Fassbender. Connor loves the MCU universe. Wait, is that like saying sin number, saying MCU universe?
I don't know.
I think you
MCU
can say
universe.
MC
Frank
universe.
is what I was thinking of.
Frank.
Have you seen Frank? You don't really see. He wears. So Frank is an insane
That's
movie.
like Charlie Kaufman, right?
It's not written by Charlie Kaufman, but it could have been. It's where he's like a musician, like an outsider artist, and he wears a big foam head.
I've
The
seen
whole
this
movie.
poster. I'm okay. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's actually wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my god, it's been such a pleasure seeing you again. I want
I
to
know.
work with you again. So fun. Is there anything you'd like to plug and or mention before we take off?
Nah.
I like that. It's
Yeah.
classic.
Clean, easy.
Yeah.
We have to plug our podcast.
Ugh,
Listen to our
Plug her.
podcast. Alex and I have a great time on it. We have
wonderful rapport.
our most recent one has Andrew Fung and my ex-boyfriend Ben Boschman on it of Kim's Convenience.
I listened to that.
Where I
one.
have a very real did we record this? I haven't listened to it yet. I have a very real annoyed fight with myself about something that Ben does, and were we recording? We weren't recording.
Because I cut out. This is behind the scenes for anyone who listened to that episode.
Oh yeah.
About half that episode is Ben fucking up recording, and I
Yeah.
cut out all of it. Like, there's so much time where it's like Ben's like, "Wait, where are we in the movie?" It's like, "Shut, what's happening?" And like
What
he drops
upset
out.
me about that specifically was that he called me on the telephone an hour before, and I explained to him, and you could see I'm bad technical too. Like, we had this moment as well before the show started, and so I explained to him the way that a person who doesn't understand internet should get it, and he was late, he was confused, and it just really
I cut it out
rushed
because
back all the reasons why I was like, these were the this is why we would fight. Like, I forgot that those were our fights, and that it all came rushing
flooding back. It's so funny.
he would also like, I don't know what it was with his recording or his internet, but like he was always out of step, and I had to like move
Always.
his stuff around. He was always like talking over people.
No, I think it's because he has the world's. Because this was a fight we'd have too. He goes for the cheapest of everything. So he was like, I don't know what the cheapest phone was at the time, but they maybe had one tower, and like he was unreachable. And so I'm not. He probably has tech savvy that at that time of day the internet traffic was too much, and he was like in the wrong room. I can't. Anyways, he reads a lot of books. I love Ben. He's a very good friend.
Sounds like it.
I cut out an hour of us yelling at Ben over top of each
Oh
other.
my god.
And like, I like to think that I'm a nice person, but for whatever reason, that behavior like really turns me into such a monster where I have zero empathy, and I'm like, figure it out. Even though I know that I need help with things.
This is an excellent plug for our podcast.
Anyway, so this is our podcast.
Yeah, also like come be a guest. We definitely won't shit talk you for 10 minutes in a plug.
Ben's been on twice. That's enough. Anyway, so come listen to our podcast. We're on the Sonar Network. You can find us wherever podcasts can be found. Andrew Fung is a recent one. We also had Andrea Bang from Kim's Convenience. We're just working our way through the
Yeah, we're going through the cast of Kim's
probably
Convenience.
because of Ben. I'm
going to be in an episode this season too.
Are you really?
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. We have to promote this as such that it's from Kim's Convenience. All right, sweet.
Right.
Well, thank you for sharing this night with us. It's been lovely.
Yeah, thank
Connor.
you. It felt like I had plans, you know? Like
Yeah. Nadine texted me, asked me if she should keep her makeup on, and I said, "You go ahead, girl, because you're gonna be on the camera." Okay. Thank you, Bad Dog. Thank you, Sonar, for putting this together. And yeah,
All right.
have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.